Morning. We're at Castle Bytham at the moment. It's 4 o'clock in the morning and we're going to be doing a 10-mile walk, well, roughly 10-mile walk. You know what my map reading's like. We're going to be heading over towards Woolfox Trig Point, visiting an old castle, Castle Bytham, and going through some woods, seeing an old lime quarry, and basically doing a little bit of nighttime exploring. Hopefully you'll enjoy this one and we'll see how it gets on. As you head out of Bytham, you'll come to a footpath. You turn right down here. Don't know what it says. A recent dog attack. So you head down here, straight out into the countryside. I just feel sound travels at night, doesn't it? And the path takes you down. That's a nice little spot. I thought we were going into somebody's garden, but we're going into basically a field. The garden's there. Just follow the signs, which is very hard in the dark. I think it's a straight line. Oh my god. I think it's a straight line down this way. Pardon? Yeah. When you get to the bottom of the field, you come across the river. It's just down there. Be a nice place to camp round here, wouldn't it? You cross over the bridge just here. Watch out for this gate because the hinge is broken, so when you open it, it tends to drop. Then you go across this bridge. As you can see, the mist. Talking about the mist, just missed some deer on the way over. I know there's a different kind of mist. And the castle should be the other side of that hedge. So we've got to find a way in. Well, the site of the castle. Then we're trying to see if we can see the castle. So as you turn right over the bridge, you come to this gate. Go through the gate and head down here. Yeah, so after you've been walking down here for a few minutes, thought it was going to be through that gate, but actually that gate, I think we're a bit too far from the castle round. Oh my god, it's over there somewhere. So if you want to see this Moat and Bailey, I don't know whether we can actually get to it this way or not. We might actually be climbing the embankment of it, but I can't really see a lot in the dark. But there's an old Moat and Bailey. We didn't have much success going over the gate to see the Moat and Bailey because it looked like there's a load of sheep there on steroids staring at us. So we're going to try a different way. So after that attempt, we're going to came back out and turn left. I'm going to be walking around the old castle. As you can see, we're going to be going through Lawnwood Meadows. The Moat and Bailey is a bit hard to see on there, near Castle Hill. You just follow up here, going through the meadows, Looks like it's getting light already, or is that just the torches? Look at that, the sunrise. By the time we get to this top of this hill, you should be able to see the sun poking up. Once you climb so far up the hill, you'll see a path to your left hand side with a little yellow way marker post. You turn left through here. Got to keep to the path, youth. Enjoy it. Forgot to mention Wayne's with me again today, and walking through this path we noticed some strange formations on the ground. When I looked at the ice map, we realised we're actually walking through old pits. Not too sure what the mined or quarried here. I'll have to do a little bit of research when I get home. Not too sure what's up ahead here, but we think the old Moat and Bailey. In fact, I'm going to turn that side torch off, so it's making it awkward. Not too sure what's over there, but should we take a little walk? Because that is basically the land for the... Actually, that looks quite steep down there, doesn't it? Well, the path takes you down there. It looks like people have been up there. Should we go up there?
Yeah, let's have a look on the top of the hill.
Oh no.
Coming up.
We're going to take a little stroll up here. This should take us to the top of the... We've just come to the edge of the moat. Quite a big one this one is. We're going to take a little scamper up there to go to the top. Down in the moat now. And we're on top of the Bailey now. You can almost work out how the castle was. This reminds me so much of Burr Hill. Very similar layout. I'm amazed there's not a trig point here for us to get. So I wonder if there's any relationship to the disused pit and the castle. You do all your research before you go out on a walk, but then you always forget something. God, it's so misty. It's terrible that this isn't actually open to the public. You can imagine back in the 17th century, probably earlier than that, round here, the noise, the mist. We've had a nice little look around there as much as you can see in the dark. Now we're going to head over to the woods and the quarry. It's a beautiful morning. This is why we actually get up early. Just noticed these mounds at the bottom of the moat, the other side of the moat. It looks like it might be an old settlement round here. Oh, after aimlessly wandering around looking at the Moat and Bailey and heading back down into a general direction with my infamous map reading, we're actually back on the route, which is quite good actually. Quite proud of that. Then walk past, I think, the old farmhouse. Actually, it looks like a new farmhouse. Don't actually know what that is over there. Wayne reckons it's part of the castle. Bit hard to see in the dark. Oh. Then once you've actually seen the Moat and Bailey, you've got this gate, go through here, back over the bridge over the river. I'm assuming there's a river here. When you come out the field, you come onto Glen Road, and it looks like we've got to head down there. There's a strange noise coming from over there. So it looks like we're going down Water Lane. some little baby chicks. That must be the daddy duck scaring us off. Oh, little adorables. Not too sure I could live there with that noise, could you? Yeah. Oh, look at this, another hand pump. This pump was originally the only source of water for the village and was therefore in constant use, and in times of drought, particularly in 1933, farmers would queue up to fill their water carts with supplies for the cattle. That's a very ornate one. This takes you to the back end of the pond. Not too sure, but you probably draw the water from that pump. We thought we went up there, but we don't. We carry on up here, and there's a path to the left hand side that we go down. Oh well. Don't know whether somebody actually lives in there. It's called the bunker. We're heading up Water Lane. Once you get to the water lane, you cross over, you see a sign just up here, go across the field. We're hoping to pick up the disused rail line. Don't know whether we'll be successful on that, but you just get through here, hopefully without tripping over. I'm sure the path turns left here somewhere. Then you'll see this little cut-in through here, and this should take, oh, looks like you can't get under the disused train line, it's up there. But nice little tunnel. Got to find a way to get up there now. Otherwise we're going to start going miles out of our way. Do you reckon that way? Well, this isn't the easiest route. We're going to head up there. Now that's a climb and a half. Once you get to up the disused train line, you start heading back down to Castle Bytham. And there should hopefully be another path that we'll be picking up in about 5 minutes. Under another bridge. Just think, years ago, you used to go for the old steam trains trundling down here. Oh, that's a bit soft. That's probably all the old steam smoke. Well, engine smoke. Road. Well, you'd have to be down here to actually see it. Feels like we're actually trying to work our way through the jungle walking through here. Just think this channel was probably made by hand with pickaxes. Waking the old pigeons up. My plan was to get off here. I thought it was going to be a footpath leading to the right, but it's actually a bridge. There's no way we can actually climb up there. Well, saying that, I'm not too sure. But this takes you down onto a road in about another 2 or 3 minutes, so it might actually be quicker to get to the road than climb up here. Yeah, we can't get up there, can we? It's a very sound bridge.
Climb up there.
You really want to try it?
Yeah. It's not that bad.
Well, Wayne's made it. Bit hard to tell, but we've actually climbed up the embankment up there and came out at the top there. Would have been so much easier if we followed this path and came along there. That takes us almost back to the car. But now we're heading this way. That was hard work. Once you came out from the disused train line and you get your breath back, you go across this field. Luckily the farmer's not grown any crops yet, or planted any crops, so we should be okay. Once you've been walking over this field for what's felt like hours, you'll come to the basically another way marker. You cross over Clipson Road into the next field. And don't forget your highway code, check left and right. Well, no, that's right and left. And then we've got to head over here. And if you don't fancy climbing over the gate, just come round here. Well, just walked in some cold webs and got a nice to follow path. This is an easy route to follow across this field. It looks like an old barn or something like that. As you can see, nice and misty. We've got to head that direction. After you cross the field, you come to a little gap in the hedge. Again, this route is well signposted. You just go over this little bridge and carry on a straight line. In fact, looking at it, you couldn't go off track if you wanted to. I think Wayne's getting his wire cutters out. He doesn't like being controlled. He's going to cut the wires. Then eventually, once you walk past all this fencing, you'll come to another little bridge. You cross over here into the woods. These would have been a nice woods to walk through in the dark. Once you've gone through the little woods, you've got no choice but to turn right and follow this fence. This fencing goes a long way. Then you come to another one of these bridges. Looks like all these bridges are new. You cross over here. I don't know what that's going to be doing now. We think they might be doing solar panels or something. Well, we've got a new road for it. And then follow on down here. Bit of a weave round here. But this is a pleasant path. I wonder what that sign says. Not too sure what it's supposed to have said. But you've got a quarry just over there. Later on in this walk, we wanted to visit a quarry. But by the looks of it, these are big deep quarries. I thought they were going to be like the old medieval quarries like Pickworth. But I don't think they're the sort of quarries that we can actually go wandering around. I did my research. I might be able to walk around the edge of them, but I think the chance of actually going into them is almost nil. But when we get there, like we keep seeing all these signs, danger, deep quarry, keep out. So I don't think going down there, I was just looking down there. You don't realise how high up you are. Hard to see down there. But these are actually the top of trees. If you actually fell down there, that's a good old drop. And down there, so probably behind me, probably round there, it used to be a medieval quarry. And following this ridge along the top, and you've got a modern quarry down there. Then when you come to the end of that walk, come down here, it looked like the path carries on straight down there, but we can't find it, well, can't get through. So just pick this road up, and when you get to the end there, you turn right. Another out in the middle of nowhere place. What a place to live. In fact, we see many places that you could live. In fact, Wayne, that looks like the path that we should have come down there. Then up that way. Then follow it up here. After walking on that path, you come to the top end of Pickworth Great Woods. It's again signposted with these yellow way markers. We'll head down here through Pickworth Great Woods. We can actually walk through here, which is, well, we always like to go somewhere where you're not supposed to go, but we're allowed down here. We're actually not far from the Pickworth Trig Point and also the Pickworth lime kilns, which we're thinking the quarries around here might have been related to, but unfortunately we can't look at those. Well, the ones we've seen so far, we couldn't look at them. Again, this is a nice easy path to follow. Would have been nice to walk down here in the dark, but the only way we could do that is if we actually set off about 8 o'clock at night, and I don't think either of us actually want to do that. Well, I actually don't know, we could do that one day. When you've been walking through Pickworth Woods for a while, you come to like a T-junction. We want to bear right. Obviously, you can go whichever way you want, but we're heading this way because the Trig Point, I'm not going to start saying it's 2 miles down here, because then it'll be 2 miles down here for the next 2 miles. So we're going to head down this way now. We thought it was going to be a hard route to follow, but as you can see, this is nice and easy. So, just thought I'd mention to you why I'm actually doing all these walks, because I got the Leicestershire and Rutland Trig Bagger book, and there's 58 trig points on there. But at the same time, I thought I could actually incorporate walks around the Leicestershire and Rutland area, you know, around about 7, 8, 9 miles. Then I thought, I know what, I can actually start discovering all the interesting places that Leicestershire and Rutland has to offer. And to my surprise, Leicestershire is a real nice place to visit. When you go to Leicester, you only think of Leicester, and well, it's not the best place. It has got some interesting places, but the Leicestershire and Rutland area is really a nice place to visit, and has some nice little gems and lovely villages to visit. So if you ever do get bored, just go out somewhere, or get yourself an OS map, go out and just go for a walk. It doesn't have to be these big walks like what we do. It could just be like a little 2-3 mile walk, and just discover some of the nice places and also some of the really nice pubs. So hopefully these videos will get you out and about, and you'll get to see some lovely places. So our options now are to go down there, but luckily there's a path down there that should take us to the quarry I'm hoping to look at. It says danger forestry work, so that doesn't actually matter. So head down here, and hopefully we can either go down through the quarry or round it. If not, it's going to cause problems. Well, once we get through here, I think by my map reading, we should be coming out towards the quarry, or at least near the quarry. But we've got a field to walk first. Once you come out through the woods, you come to a field. I think the quarry is just over there. At least if we haven't got a path going through the quarry, we can either head up there, but we're going to try that way first. But Wayne's got his eye on that pheasant over there. A bit hard to see on this with all the mist, but there's the pheasant. Once you walked across the field, you walk past Clipsome Limestone Quarry, and you head just through here. Clipsome Limestone Quarry is just over there. It's got danger, quarry, keep out, so we're not going in there. We're just going to be going this way. This part's dead easy to follow. Not too sure we should actually be down here. It's got no public right of way, but we think that's so you can't actually drive down there. Didn't say anything about not walking down there. Also, what made it more confusing, there's a post there saying there's a path around here somewhere. This is one of the quarries. It sounds like it's actually in operation.
Looks like it.
Personally, I would have thought there would have been a fence along here.
Yeah. It's a long way down, isn't it?
Easy. We're now coming into Big Pit Wood. We won't have to climb up there. I know the problem when you film things, you can never get the perspective of how high these things are. But over there, you've got a mega deep quarry, probably about 200 foot deep. Can't really see it because it's so misty. Be another quarry over there. Once you follow this path, that you can see this private road, no entry. So we shouldn't have walked down there. It's a lot clearer there, but we didn't see anybody. Once you follow that path, we're back on the public right of way, and you turn left. One of this is the stone, the limestone that the quarry out of here. So this is actually a proper footpath, and we're heading that way. Once you come out from the path that we're not supposed to have gone down, you turn left down this track. This is actually a proper public right of way. You just walk down here for a while. After being walking down this path, you come to this other path. You just turn right down here. So from there, come down the side of this field and turn right. When you come to the bend in the road, the farmer's left a nice, easy to follow track straight across this field. Watch out for the pheasants. Not too sure whether you can see them on the camera, but I might actually get a new camera very soon. And just follow this path. Not too sure what this used to be. Probably some sort of pond or something. Might have been a small little quarry where they got building material out of. I'll have to do a little bit of research on the map. We're getting closer to these woods. Once we get to the woods, we've got to head up there somehow, and the trig point is just up there. This is Bytham Wood Far. Don't actually know what the word far means. We're just going to have a little look down here now, see whether we can actually get through here into the woods. If not, I've plotted to walk around the edge of the woods, but what's that? But Wayne's just said you can't get through there, so we're sticking to plan A and walk down there. We've just found a little gap in the woods. We're going to have a little nosy in here. Looks like there's a big ditch down there to get through, but we're just going to fight our way through here. More brambles. This looks a little bit wild round here. I'm struggling getting under that tree with my rucksack on. And down the ditch. Up the other side. Looks like there's an old animal track here I think we can follow. But it should take us out onto a path, hopefully shortly. This is definitely a disused campsite. It says on my map that this area is clear and there should be a little path going just up there, but as you can see there's nothing but brambles, so we're going to head back that way and walk around the woods, unfortunately. Once you've walked around the woods for a little while, instead of through the woods, which is impossible, you head down that way. And I know I said this about 50 times so far today, the trig point is just down there in the distance, but we've spotted a sort of bunk or something over there. We'll pop over there if Wayne wants to have a look. Do you want to have a look?
Yeah, can do.
Yeah, so we're going to have a little nosy round there.
Shed.
There might just be a shed. And there looks like a caravan site or something over there. Don't know why I'm showing you on the camera because you can't see anything. Let me zoom in. Just over there. So we're going to have a little look at that bunker now. No idea what this building is. It'd be interesting, it's actually on a train line and it's an old station or something, but it's not on any of the maps. Not too sure what this used to be. but it stinks in here. Just guessing that might have been just an old barn, cheap barn, knocked up. But probably used to be a chimney there.
Might have been some from war times. Some accommodation.
Looks like there's about 6 or 8 of these around this area. We're going to try and get through the woods here. We found a bit of an entrance. We're just going to struggle through here. And getting through these is always a struggle because everything's got a spike on it. Just checking there's nobody over there. Actually, looks like there's a fence there. I'll just walk down here. Made it through the woods. There's an electric fence there, but we don't think it was actually still in operation. Don't know whether we're actually going to have time to look at that building over there. I'll zoom in. So it's now Operation Get Trig Point. We've entered Bytham Woods from a different direction. When we get down here we turn right and we're literally minutes from the trig point. This is like a treasure hunt or something, finding these sometimes. You feel like you've got to get there before, well, somebody beats you to it and nicks it. But we're turning right down here. And I think it's just down there. We think the trig point is around here somewhere. Been told it's in brambles. Actually I can see it just up there. So we're going to see if we can actually get there. Woolfox Trig Point. My 24th trig point. This is a hard one to actually find. Well, yeah, find and get to because of all the brambles. As you can see, the spider on the top is there and in good condition. Got the plate at the bottom. Then the problem is it's surrounded by brambles. But there's a bit of a path that you can get there. Got to our 24th trig point, as you can see, just there. Bit of a hard one to get to, as you can see, surrounded by brambles. But now it's time to get out of here without tripping over. Once you've seen the trig point, you carry on walking along here. We're going to go past a farmyard in a minute. We decided instead of walking around the edge of the woods, to walk through the woods and see all the bluebells. This is Ospinall's Woods or something like that. We're going to head that way really. I think there's a path down there somewhere. Let's see if I can pronounce this right. This is Ospinall's Woods. With all the bluebells. I think we found an exit just through there. And this will take us eventually back onto the, I think it's the Rutland Round, but it's one of the major walks. Across this field, we managed to follow some of the tractor tracks, so we didn't do any damage to the crop. You get to Bidwell Lane, which is, well, it's all part of the original walk. We didn't want to go the way I'd actually planned, because we'd be basically walking past a farmyard, and the farmers are in there. But we've already clocked up 9 miles, so it's not like we're actually making this walk short. So just go down here, you can see, oh god, Clipsome Road just up there. Saw a car. Such beautiful countryside round here, and a house tucked away in the hills, a horse munching grass for breakfast. When you get to the top of Bidwell Lane, you come to Stretton Road and you turn right. As you can see, we're coming into Clipsome. We'll be walking down here, we'll be going to Clipsome Woods, I think it is. Do you know what, I really should have a script for doing this. But just walk down here for a little while. We walk down here for a little while and we go to Clipsome Yew Tree Avenue. and we're going to have a look at all the trees made into interesting shapes. Somebody's garden. When you've been walking along this road for a little while, you can cross over and there's a footpath just down there. So it's just walking through the village of Clipsum now. Another one of those tiny little villages. And hopefully we can get to the Yew Tree Avenue up here somewhere. That looks like Clipsum Hall just up there. Like with all these walks that we do, we're going to take a little look at one of these churches. The road down to the church is gorgeous. In fact, everywhere around here is absolutely gorgeous. If you ever got a spare, quiet day, get out and have a look around Leicestershire and Rutland to see these places. St Mary's Church at Clipsum. Not too sure we'll be able to get in. Pity they're not ringing the bells at the moment. Some nice stained glass windows. This is rather posh, isn't it? The organs. Not too sure, but we think we found another benchmark. Looks slightly different, but I'm sure it is. So if you do want to find the benchmark, it's just above the bench. We're now going to walk through the churchyard after finding another benchmark just there above the bench. I'll zoom in on that. And I'm hoping, according to the map, we can walk out through here somewhere. We can't get to the Yew Tree Avenue this way. This is just like the old TV programme I used to watch, The Secret Garden, where there used to be like a door that opened when the clock struck 13. In fact, there's the door. Just got to wait for it to strike 13 and go into the secret garden. What a place to be buried.
Yeah.
Wonder where the stonework for this wall came from. Probably from one of the local quarries, actually, thinking about it. Same as probably most of these buildings, the stonework came from the quarries around this area. After visiting the church, we're heading back through Clipsum. Clipsum, you go straight over the road and follow the path down here. You'll see a sign saying Yew Tree Avenue, but I think that's for cars. We're going to walk down here and pick it up down here. Along the little fields and went up back onto Castle Bytham Road. You walk up yet another hill. It always seems to be hills around here, And after you've been walking along here for about 3/4 of a mile, you'll see an entrance to your left hand side. Hopefully we can get in there. If not, we'll still go in there. We just had to climb over a little gate, well basically a log that's blocking the road, that's saying private, no public access. We've got to go through the proper way, but we're just going to walk down there and we'll get to the back end of the yew tree lined avenue, and we'll be walking from the bottom to the top instead of from the top to the bottom then back up. Now coming to the woods with the yew tree lined avenue in. We're having to, well, going around the back way so we can start from the bottom and work up. Hopefully it's going to be as interesting as it looks like on the internet. We seem to be taking a leaf out of GeoWizard's book and we're going over some not as bad terrain that he goes over, but we can see where we've got to head to, just over there. My original route was to come this way, but it was very hard. Couldn't actually get in anywhere over there to get here, but then it's got a sign there saying private land. So this is Yew Tree Avenue. Looks like somebody's already beaten us to it, considering we set off at 4 o'clock this morning. But I think it's now time for a break. Things, it's nice walking down here, but basically it's all the same, isn't it? Yew Tree Avenue, you get onto Clipsome Road and it's a straight road. Looks like this might have been an old Roman road, and you follow this straight down. Once you've got almost to the top of the hill on Clipsome Road, you'll see a footpath. You turn left down here and this will take us back over the field that we actually came over quite a while ago. You go across the field, I'm assuming it's going to be around the edge, but don't fancy going through the middle. This gap in the hedge. Well, that says straight on. Or you can see a bit of a track, can't you?
There's a bit of an angle. There's the post over there.
Yeah. Once you walked across the field, you come back to the train line that you struggled across earlier. And then cross over the bridge. And just walk down here. That was a good climb going down there, thinking about it. And we're almost back at Castle Bytham. And just walk around the edge of the graveyard. Just coming up to the church. Little squirrel. We ought to come back here when it's dark.
Yeah, go in there in the dark.
We can sort this all out. This is St James at Castle Bytham. Oh well, found the benchmark at St James. It's on the corner just down here. So I take it this is the south facing. But we're collecting these now. 3 out of 500,000. Strange seeing it in the daytime, isn't it? And there's the Castle Bytham Bailey just over there in the daylight. Looks completely different. Well, we're almost back at the car. Now it's been a very long walk. We've done almost 14 miles. We're just coming back over the train bridge that we were going to come up from, but we changed it slightly because of all the alterations. We've seen, well, another trig point, the Woolfox Trig Point, and been along some disused train lines, been up a Castle Mound, Moat and Bailey. Oh god, seen a couple of churches. It's been quite an eventful walk, going across some nice woodland areas, seeing bluebells and that lot. But it's been an interesting walk. Hopefully you've enjoyed this walk like the others, and if you did, please come back and watch another one with us sometime. So I'll see you soon. Bye.